mean, truly, like the community here, and I'm very involved with like Clement Street Merchants Association, helping them with design stuff, and I put on a Clement Street art fair. This is we had the second annual year. There's just like such a beautiful art community and community of people not in the arts that just want to make this place a better place to live. And I really feel that strongly in the Richmond. It's such a special place.
That was San Francisco artist Hollis Callas. I'm Jeff, and this is Storied San Francisco, a podcast about artists, activists, and working people who make this city unique. Welcome to part 2 with Hollis. If you missed part 1, please check that out. In this episode, Hollis talks about her time in San Francisco. We almost lost her to Seattle, but then a pesky little worldwide pandemic happened, and we won. A few years ago, she entered a contest to design the city's I Voted stickers, and she won. So every time you either open that voting packet in the mail, or you go to your polling station, you have the chance to wear some of Hollis Callas's art. I love it. Here's Hollis Callas.
I did the 2-year boot camp, literally the hardest thing I've ever done. I didn't sleep for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like color theory and graphic design and all the things creative all the time. And I had worked, a lot of people came straight from college, you know, so not that they weren't working as hard, but they didn't have the fire under their butt to have I was like, I'm going to do this really well. So I was just really putting my all into it.
It's that thing of going back to college, either for the first time or a second time as an adult.
Exactly.
With some world experience.
Exactly. And I was like,
I'm taking this seriously.
Yeah, I'm taking it seriously, and I want this to be my job. So I was just really gave it. I don't know how I survived. I don't know how my marriage survived. We weren't married at the time, but somehow in that time frame, we got married, during grad school. Yeah, okay. So somehow I planned a wedding and went to grad school.
Wow.
It was a high octane couple of years. But we flew out here for a portfolio review. Again, another portfolio review kind of thing.
What was the connection, though?
The Creative Circus, every senior class, every kids that are about to graduate, every spring they do either New York or San Francisco to just do a portfolio review to get your portfolio out into the industry. So it could have been either or, and it just happened that the year I was graduating, they were going to San Francisco. Okay. So we flew out here, and there was BBDO, all the design firms, and Turner Duckworth, which is my dream design firm. But I was like, I'll never get a job there. But we took a tour there, and I ended up slipping my business card to one of the gals there, and we really hit it off. And then I emailed her, and she was like, we have an internship, you should apply. So I ended up applying and getting a 3-month internship.
Okay.
And so...
Was that you and or your husband's first time in San Francisco?
Greg didn't come with me. He had not been out. It was my first time here.
First time here.
I dropped boots on the ground. I was staying at the Hyatt.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, it's a big city. And then I went out in North Beach. It was my first night here. Went out in North Beach, went to Gino and Carlo's. Classic. I think I had some Golden Boy. I was like, this place is charming.
You landed well.
I did. I was like, this is, North Beach is just,
I learned something interesting about Gino and Carlo's the other day. I was recording with the S8E9 folks. I don't know if you're aware of them. And we were doing a little walkthrough of North Beach. And they were like, it's an interesting story about Gino and Carlo's is that neither Gino nor Carlo have been around for I'm making this up, 60 or 70 years. But the successive owners have just kept the name. They're like, it's a great name. Why would we change it?
It's so good.
So yeah, and I don't even think the current owners are in any way directly related to Gino or Carlo.
The legacy lives on.
It has nothing to do. It's just yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So that was my first kind of taste of San Francisco, and I was like, this is a really beautiful place.
Good.
And I also remember it was the time of year. I don't know, maybe it wasn't, but I just remember coming over the hills and, the sun is just blinding you. You can't even drive.
Yes, lasers.
I was like, this place is crazy. I'm like,
it doesn't happen anywhere else.
The sun, the sun's end.
It just doesn't happen anywhere else. I'm like, dangerous.
I know, totally.
But it's exciting. So what year was that?
So that
you landed very well.
Yeah, 2016.
Okay.
Yeah, so I ended up getting a 3-month internship, and they were like, "Can you be here in a week?" And I was like, "Greg, can we?" This is so crazy, actually. I totally forgot this part of the story. So I called Greg, and I was like, "Greg, we have an opportunity to go to San Francisco for a little bit. I know you've never been there, but could we try it?"
What was he doing in his life?
So he was working at a place called Europe to You, and it was like they would import furniture and home decor from Europe and bring it to you. Shameless plug. I did the logos for that company, and I think I charged like $100. That was my rate back then.
Wow.
So, anyways, he was working for them in sales, doing East Coast sales.
Okay.
That day, I called him, and he was like, "Yeah, let's try to do it." Oh. He said that he walked into the group meeting about to tell them like, "Hey guys, I got an opportunity. Like, would you let me work remote?" The West Coast sales guy quit that day. And in that same meeting, they said, "Greg, you're going to take West Coast sales." So they literally, before he even asked.
Chills.
Yeah. So it was it just happened. He was like, "Well, that's great because we're moving to the West Coast." So it just like worked out so beautifully, and we packed up the 4Runner. It was like an inch from the ground because we had so much crap in it.
Yeah.
We had the poor dog, like 80-pound lab, just like in the back, boxes all around her, bikes on the top, and then like a trailer on the back with like, I don't know, bins. Like, what were we doing? We didn't even have a place to live.
You were fucking making it happen.
We were just going.
And y'all drove.
We drove.
Oh my God.
And then by the time we got out there, I was like, "Babe, we can't move back. It's so far." That was the longest drive.
One way.
I was like, "We live here now."
Had he ever visited?
No.
That was his first. The drive was his first time here.
Yes.
Okay.
Greg's so like, yes, man. You know, he's like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it."
Okay.
So, but his grandma, full circle. We were talking about grandpa earlier, but his grandma called and was like, "Oh, you have an Aunt Susie out there. She lives in Walnut Creek." And so she put us in touch with Aunt Susie. Aunt Susie was like, "Come on in, y'all." So we lived with Aunt Susie and her beautiful family for like 2.5 weeks, and just like took the train in to the city to look for places. And I had a friend in grad school that she told me, she was like, "Don't discount the Inner Richmond." She was like, "This is a spot." She's like, "I've lived out here she was in the outer, and she was like, "Don't discount the Richmond. It's like foggy at that point. It was cheaper." Back in the day. I mean, it wasn't that. It was like a decade ago, but it was cheaper out here, and there's more availability and just being by the parks. And she was like, "It's a little foggy, but if you can get over it, like it's a great place to live."
I think in 2016 we didn't realize. It's easy in hindsight 9 years later to say this, but like the west side of San Francisco has become less foggy.
Right.
Just in that short span of time. I mean, it's a sunny ass day right now as we record in November. It's blinding.
It's blinding.
I'm blind, but it's sunny. And so, but I feel like for me, I spent a lot of my early time in San Francisco and on the east side where it is sunny and it's warm and all that stuff. And feeling like that stupid thing of like, it's so far to get to the avenues. It's not. It's really fucking easy. But anyway.
Yeah.
And then as I met my wife and started spending more time out here, I'm like, also climate change happened.
We're safe here.
And you can grow vegetables. It's
oh my God,
fucking
my collards
bananas.
Are going insane.
Ooh, dinner at yours, or I'll make them. I can make them in collards. Okay, so y'all, and so you must have found a place.
Studio apartment on 7th Avenue, 7th and Lake, and moved into a tiny box
with the 80-pound lab.
Big old girl. Yep. And
what's her name?
Her name is Mammoet.
Mammoet.
She's the Duchess.
Yes.
The Queen of Clement.
Yes.
Probably seen her around.
Probably. Yeah.
She's got a presence. She's 12 years old now.
Oh.
But yeah, so we moved into that tiny studio apartment and lived there for a couple of years before we found our current spots. One bedroom. Ooh,
still
big time.
Moving up.
Big time.
Yeah, but still in the Inner Richmond.
Still in the Inner Richmond, yeah.
Yes,
didn't ever move.
Shameless plug for me for the Inner Richmond.
It's truly, I just can't even, I mean, truly, like the community here, and I'm very involved with like Clement Street Merchants Association, helping them with design stuff. And I put on a Clement Street Art Fair. This is we had the second annual year. There's just like such a beautiful art community and community of people not in the arts that just want to make this place a better place to live. And I really feel that strongly in the Richmond. It's such a special place.
Love it. So the whole thing started off with you said a 3-month internship?
Yes.
What then?
So the 3 months was coming up, and I was like, we just like signed a lease.
It's like another thing ending, and you got to figure out another pivot, as they say.
And so Greg was on like a Georgia salary, which I don't know if you know.
Right.
Like, I think I made like $30K as a teacher there. So like, that's the vibe.
Yeah. The opposite of the whole, like, if you can work for a company remote in San Francisco and live anywhere else, you are rich.
Exactly.
It's the opposite of that.
Very poor. And and I had the intern, like, I think I was getting like $20 an hour. So it was like intern rate plus Greg, and then my internship was ending. And so I started applying to jobs here. I was like, I got to get a job. And I was doing a bunch of interviews.
Was it ever a question of staying?
They ended up extending my internship 6 months.
Okay.
So I stayed 6 months as an intern.
But I just meant staying in San Francisco, because if it's up and you're
here.
like...
We were here. We were like, we live here now.
Roots extending.
Yeah, we loved it. And we wanted to give it at least a year. And then I ended up getting hired by Turner Duckworth, where my internship was. And I ended up staying there almost 5 years, 4.5 years.
Okay.
So, yeah. And so that was a whole design journey. But it planted us here. And then Greg eventually got a job here too. So
a San Francisco based.
Yes, San Francisco
job.
San Francisco company. Yes.
That, I mean, even if he's not making good money, it's like at least it's more realistic.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've been in that boat for a while.
Yeah.
So at the risk of jumping ahead, you came into my life, let's say, with the I voted stickers.
Yes.
When did that happen? Because I don't know what time it is anymore.
I think that was 2023.
Oh, since the pandemic.
Yeah.
Well, fuck me. So I am jumping ahead, right?
Yeah.
There must be some other things that
in between
were going on in your life.
Oh, yeah. But before that?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So there is some juicy. So I worked at Turner Duckworth for 4.5 years. That's where I learned all my design chops. Okay. Amazing people, amazing design.
Was it corporate-y?
Very corporate-y, but also like really cool projects too. Like I worked on, corporate-y, I worked on like McDonald's and Samsung, but then there was like, I got to do like package design for different smaller companies, and had some really cool opportunities to do. I had an animation in Times Square.
What?
Yeah.
Like on one of the things?
It was on the screen.
The screen.
It was on like 4 of the screens.
Nuts.
Yeah, but it was like an illustration I had done in the style of Samsung. So nothing I was like, look, Mom, I did a drawing. It was like in Samsung's like brand style, so very cool stuff. And I learned so much, and I still have very dear friends from there. But I was kind of like burning out. My flame was flickering. And so I ended up going back to the Creative Circus for a advisory panel. They asked me to come speak.
Okay.
I went to go speak to the students. I ended up meeting another time when I'm supposed to be like speaking to the students, and I like snatched I met a recruiter.
There's a pattern here.
I'm realizing this. I met a recruiter who was there for the students, and then she recruited me, and she worked at REI. And I was like, nature's always been massively important, and they have some really amazing green initiatives. They're doing a lot of really cool stuff for, a big company that is also like making stuff and putting it out in the world. But so anyways, I ended up, she was kind of stalking me for a couple months.
Oh.
Yeah. Recruiting, stalking, same thing. And she flew me up to Seattle. Greg and I both went and checked out Seattle. And then they gave me a job offer, and I was so conflicted. I was so
to work up there,
to work in Seattle at the big REI headquarters. I was going to be on the brand team.
Okay,
and I was so sad to leave San Francisco. Like I was crying for like 3 months, just like I don't know. But the job felt right. It was like just an in-house job that was like the timing was better. Like it wasn't, I mean, Turner Duckworth, love them, but I was working insane hours.
Right.
And
There's
it was just
that.
like, yeah.
Not realistic.
No, and it
or
just like,
not humanistic.
Yeah, it wasn't healthy for me
Right,
and
right.
my body and my relationship and my time. And
Was this since the pandemic that
so
this is all happening?
This was 2020, January.
Oh, okay.
So March, fast forward to March 2020. Remember that month?
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to move. We had the movers ready. I quit my job into February.
Oh, wow.
Greg quit his job. He was going to move up there, just give it a shot. I don't know.
That's Greg.
Love Greg. Bless him. So I get a call. Well, basically, we come back from a backpacking trip. We've been out in the woods, and then we come back, and we're like shut down. Mm-hmm. And REI called me and was like, "Hey, your movers aren't going to come. Like, you have to just stay put." I called my landlord. I'm like, "Hey, we're actually not moving. Can we stay here?" And she's like, "Oh, no one was moving in, but you can stay." And so basically, REI was like, "You're going to start work remotely in a few weeks.
Oh, good.
And then we'll move you up here as soon as we can when this blows over."
Right. I think the first shutdown, at least here, was like, it'll be over April 1st.
Yes.
I was like,
yes.
You guys are fucking kidding.
Yeah.
April Fool's Day? Yeah. Get out of here. It's so quaint to look back on now.
We're like, it's going to blow over. And so I was hopeful, and we were just like hunkering down. I was getting ready for my new job. I was supposed to start on a Monday. A couple weeks later, they called me on a Friday. It was my creative director, the legal team, and then my recruiter. And they say, "Hey, Hollis, we've got, we're so excited to have you on the team. You to start on Monday. We just want to let you know your job title might be a little different than what it was." I was supposed to be like a designer. And they were like, things are shifting here, and, we just want to make sure that's okay with you. And I was like, I will literally do whatever it takes. I'll clean your toilets. It doesn't matter. Hand me the keys to the place. I was like, that's fine. I'll do whatever you guys need in these changing times. I need a job. And Greg doesn't, Greg had one foot in the door at his company and one foot out because he was still letting go of, like, giving his clients off to other people.
Okay.
So anyways, they ended up calling me the next day, and they let me go.
Okay.
So I went out to Baker Beach and screamed at the ocean for a little bit. Came back and made a plan.
It's a little bit of a crude analogy, but I'm thinking blue balls.
Yeah, totally.
Which is not pleasant. I'm sorry
so
that happened.
Brutal. Yeah.
And also with like a bizarre, I don't know if it's easy to say in hindsight, but those days and weeks and months were bananas.
Insane.
So,
Insane. It just felt like everything was crumbling.
Yeah.
And then for that to happen, and I was like, we were supposed to move. I had a going away party. I'm like crying for months.
Fuck.
I'm saying goodbye to people. And then for that to halt. And then also like, I just lost my job and Greg's losing his job. What?
Right. How are we going to actually...
Yeah. How do we come out of this? And so I started my own company.
Yes.
Not just like overnight. But
I love it.
That's when I went out on my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear the story of the stickers.
Stickers.
That was like a competition, right? Or
it was a competition.
An open call or something?
Yeah, it was an open call for art, which I don't normally do because I think artists should be paid for their work.
Correct.
But I loved the idea of, participating in democracy in this way and for the city that I love. I was like, this is actually a call for art I feel like I can get behind. And so I actually was like, I'm not spending a ton of time on this one because I'm not getting paid, but I'm going to give it my best shot. I had seen the email come through from the SF Department of Elections, and I was like, but I'm going to put a pin in that. I'll do that later. And then my brother, like a week later, my brother-in-law sent it to me. He was like, you should really do this. And I was like, okay, yeah, I should do this. So I did it.
The universe is saying.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So I sent in my design, and I think there were like over 600.
I was going to ask if
applicants.
Okay.
500 or 600. There was a lot.
Yeah.
They had a panel.
A lot of artists here.
Oh, so many creative people. And yeah, so they had a panel of like designers and artists and, election people, everyone. Panel of people narrowed it down to 10. And then in the most democratic way, they had the city vote. Yes. And so the city got to vote, and my design was like, I think I got like over 3,000 votes.
Yes.
Which was amazing. Yeah.
I can't remember which of our mutual friends, before we knew each other directly, told me and my wife
To
about this.
to
Like,
vote on it?
my friend is in the running.
Oh
And
my God, I
we
love
saw it,
it.
and I was like, not only is there a connection here, that's fucking
Oh,
beautiful
man.
design.
Oh, thank
so
you.
yeah, so we
That's
were
cool.
one of the votes.
Yeah, I felt
Two of the
like
votes.
I kind of like had a taste of like running for office. I was like, vote for my design.
Yes.
I'm running for the, you know, I was like, this is not my personality to be like, vote for me.
Right,
but
right.
I was like asking all my friends, I was like, hey,
Yeah.
this would be really cool. And
Yeah.
and so I actually had a lot of community support, and
Awesome.
yeah, it was very cool. And then I got to go down to, it's so funny. I had such a like, just a moment of brain fart when we went there, and they had 3 finalists, and I'm there with Greg, and I know I'm one of the finalists, and they like unveil this 3rd place. Okay, it's this guy. Great. Clap, clap, clap. Unveil the 2nd place. Clap, clap, clap. And Greg looks at me. He's like excited. And I'm like, I'm still waiting. I'm like, what? He's like, I think you won.
That's out of body, right? A little bit, or
Yeah, totally.
maybe a dash of imposter.
Yeah, totally.
Syndrome.
I was like, wait,
Yeah.
no, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got like a
fucking fun.
massive poster that was like 3 feet by 3 feet of the sticker.
Yeah. Like, thank you for
Yeah.
reproducing my art for me.
Yes. Yeah, and then they were really wonderful to work with.
That was 2023.
I think that was 2023.
Well, it's hard to look back because San Francisco really loves to vote.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of
We vote
elections
so
here.
much.
So much. And then, recalls are the new thing.
right.
hmm
Yeah.
I can't remember the first time we got them, but I was like, yes.
I know it wasn't. Oh no.
Maybe it was 24.
It was actually, it was like January. There was like a special election. I think it was 24 actually. I think
Okay.
it was like the start of 24, because there was a special election and it was released for that, and then it was like for the big election in November, and I was like,
right.
womp.
Yeah. Also in hindsight. Really good until that day. No, but it's like for listeners, whether they know your name or they've seen your art in other capacities, a lot of my listeners live here and by default at least get the packet.
Yeah.
So whether you know it or not, you have seen Hollis's art.
Yeah, I've seen
and
it on
it's so
people's
cool.
water bottles and things, and I always get Greg's like, "Tell him it's you." I'm like, "No, I don't need to do that."
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah,
I get both sides of that. It's
I
like,
love like just seeing people enjoy. Like I do work for Hardly Strictly, and like nothing brings me more joy than seeing people like wear the shirts and enjoying their moment with the music and making these memories, and they're like wearing their shirt, and it's just really special.
Yeah. Well, if I may, I think sometime I've been here 25 years, and at some point in my time here, I really started to kind of. I don't want to. It's not like a total reduction of black and white, but it's like there are people who give, and there are people who take, and some people are heavy on one side or the other. I'm going to say you're a giver, and I gravitate myself toward givers.
Yeah.
So I guess thank you.
That's nice.
for
Thank
doing
you
that.
for saying that.
Okay. Well, this podcast is going to come out, as I said, you will be the first episode in 2026 in January. I think that it's like that first Tuesday or something like that. So is there anything coming up for you around that time that you want to plug?
I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to survive the next couple months.
Right. You're like, Jeff,
I mean,
don't
not
make
even
me-
months,
Yeah.
like next month, and get done with all my deadlines. I don't know that I have anything coming up. I mean, actually, no, that's not true. We'll have, you can keep an eye out for Clement Street Art Walk. I run that with Nico from Fleetwood.
Friend of the show, Nico.
Yeah, and we'll be doing it quarterly. So I believe it starts in March.
Okay.
And then in the fall, we'll be doing Clement Street Art Fair. And hopefully I'll have, a local show somewhere, maybe at 540 or I don't know.
Maybe we'll do something together.
Yeah, maybe we could do something.
Yes,
for
sure.
I have some dreams about doing some bigger pieces. So I'm hoping to manifest that next year and maybe do something like that.
I love big art.
Yeah.
Big photos and big easels or big canvases. Yeah.
Oh, I bought these like huge sheets to print, like lino print.
Oh.
Do I lino print? No. Will I? Yep. Watch this space.
All right. And can you tell folks how to find you and
Yeah,
check
usually on
out your
Clement
stuff.
Street.
Yeah, just roll on over.
Yeah. No, they can follow probably Instagram, Hollis Callas. My husband gave me a semi-rhyming name, so it's kind of easy to remember. And then, my website, I also have a newsletter. I hope to next year send it out more frequently. But that usually has like all of my events, and like I'll recap some of my projects that I found really fun and kind of give you like the inside scoop on it. So that's a good way to stay in touch.
How do folks find that?
On my website, holliscallas.com, and then you can just sign up, or on Instagram, one of my links in bio also. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else before we wrap?
I don't think so. Oh, I have a question for you.
Let's do it.
Do you have a favorite flower?
Ooh, well, I have this, so maybe...
There she is.
It's like a mood thing. This is my California poppy tattoo, which is my California tattoo.
You have California poppy tattoo with another California poppy tattoo.
Let's do it. Ooh, yeah, yes. So it's like, I also, anytime anyone asks me favorite anything, I'm like, but what about all the other things?
Oh, I totally.
I'm the worst about that. Yeah.
Oh, I totally get that.
Yeah. My wife is big on ranunculus and dahlias, and also the dahlia garden at the park I walk to a lot.
Have y'all been to the Dahlia show?
No.
Oh, it's a competition.
Okay,
it's a cutthroat competition.
Yeah.
Happens every August.
Yeah.
The Dahlia Society puts it on.
I've wondered about them.
It's at the
They'll cut a bitch.
the county. No, the judges are serious.
I'm sure
It
they
is
are.
so serious.
Yeah.
You go in and these flowers are being judged in a million different categories.
Mm-hmm.
Not just from like biggest, smallest, but it's like perky, like looks like a piece of fruit. There's just like all these categories. There's a people's choice. I mean,
Amazing.
it's really
I've noticed
amazing.
in the garden over there the names of each one. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's like a dog show kind of.
Yes.
Or like
So dahlias are super interesting. Oh my God, this could be another
Let's
podcast.
do
But
it.
they're super interesting because, and I'm probably going to get this wrong, but my understanding is, they're I'm sure there's a word for it, but like tubular roots. So people make hybrids, and you can like root them together and make your own like species. So that's why there's all these different types that people have like bred and made.
And given
they're
the
like,
names too.
So yeah, and then they get to name it. And there's amazing group of people, and like a queen bee gardener, Dahlia queen bee, that like takes care of that garden. I also am a garden guide at the botanical gardens, and I love plants. And
the big light show starting there.
I went last night.
Yeah.
Member preview party.
I can't wait to see that.
It's really amazing. They did an amazing job. That is truly the most magical place in the city.
That was artist Hollis Callas. We recorded this episode at Chloe Jackman Photography in the Inner Richmond. On the next Storied San Francisco, please join us for the momentous 300th episode of this podcast. We welcome back Jake Rosenberg, whose new book Epicenter is all about 90s skateboarding culture at the Embarcadero. That bonus episode drops next Tuesday, January 13th, wherever you get podcasts. Music for Storied San Francisco was produced, performed, and curated by Otis McDonald. Our contributing producer is Aaron Lim of Bitch Talk Podcast. And the show is produced and hosted by me, Jeff Hunt. Now in our 8th season, we have more than 280 episodes available on our website, storiedsf.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If possible, please rate and review the show. I want to know what you think. Find us on Substack for our monthly newsletter and more. And follow us on Instagram and Threads at StoriedSF. Reach us there or email us at storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Try to stay hopeful in these dark times. Keep being wacky, creative, and kind out there. And we'll see you next time on Storied San Francisco. We acknowledge and respect the first humans of the unceded land we call San Francisco, the Ramaytush Ohlone. We condemn the genocide of these and other tribes across the Western Hemisphere. We honor their legacy and history, and we support rematriation and sovereignty efforts.